Hi, my name is Caroline. I'm an English teacher in Turkey and I also teach English online. This video is about the 3 most common mistakes my Turkish students make in English, and I hope you find it very useful. I hope it helps you break your bad habits, and I hope it helps you prevent making the bad habits in the first place. The first most common mistake is my students confusing he and she. So although in English these pronouns seem very normal and self-explanatory for us, in Turkish they actually only use one pronoun to describe he and she. There is no difference between gender. This can cause problems, as you can imagine, for a Turkish student learning English. A student might say, "My grandma last night, he went to the movies." What? Are we talking about your grandma or your grandpa? What is happening? As an English teacher, I can kind of figure out pretty quickly what's happening. But it does start to get confusing, even for me, when a second subject gets introduced into the sentence. So let's break this a bit. Alright, so let's break this down a bit more in Turkish. If you want to say he or she is a doctor, you would say in Turkish, o, the pronoun for he and she and it in Turkish, o, doktor. So I know my Turkish students know this better than I do, but here we are. O is he and she together in Turkish. However, in English, here we are, he, she. These are 2 separate pronouns, and we need to remember this because this also causes problems with people remembering the difference between his and hers, himself, herself. This is really important. As a teacher, one way you can prevent this is by constantly reminding your students when they make this mistake. I will usually do something like this at the beginning of class. Okay, this is my boy, and this is my girl. Ooh. Okay, she can have a little dress and maybe some hair. Not very feminist for 2020, but here we are. Okay, so what I would tell my student is, where does he go? And this is pretty easy, right? Most students would automatically be like, obviously he is for boys, so I'm gonna put it with the boy. After this, I would start to say, okay, can you fill in all of the pronouns you can remember for each of these, right? So for example, he, okay, what's the opposite of he? She, him, her, himself, herself, etc. A lot of my Turkish students have the habit of using the filler words from Turkish. One of those filler words is yani. For example, filler words are words in English when we say things like so. So yani actually doesn't come from Turkish, it comes from Arabic. This is because Turkish and Arabic used to be very closely linked. Some things never change. Yani is one of those things. The problem happens when my Turkish students use it while speaking English. For example, they might say, "My grandma, well, yani, she doesn't like this." I understand the point, but also, like, what? What did you just say? What was that one word? Okay, so first we have the Arabic word. You can try. This is really difficult to do on this notepad. This is the Arab word, yani. Excuse my writing. Okay, so this is the filler word. So words you can use instead of yani, and words that you should use instead of yani. Words like well, that's not a letter in English, actually. Just a second. So that sound, don't know how to write that. I'll just do this, maybe. Okay. The third and last most common mistake I've noticed here is Okay, I think it's over. Right, so the third nope, not open. Okay. So the third most common mistake that I hear my Turkish students make is the mispronunciation of the letter W. So the reason this happens is because in the Turkish alphabet there's actually not a W. Turkey used to have an alphabet that looked like the Arabic alphabet. Kemal Ataturk decided to modernize Turkey, switch the alphabet to a Latin-based alphabet. This is the alphabet you would find, for example, in English, French, German, Spanish. In Arabic, there is a W sound, the wow. This sound comes from the Arabic wow. For example, wa and ta, and you. But in Turkish, this sound did not get carried over when they switched the alphabet for some reason. So here you can see the Turkish alphabet. Like I said, it's based off of the Latin alphabet that you would find in English. However, they do have some letters that don't exist in English. For example, this ch sound, the sh sound. You also have the yumuşak j, which I don't even pronounce, I don't say it. My Turkish students will usually pronounce the W in English like a V. The only explanation I can think of for this is because V is the only letter in their alphabet that even looks like this. I think there's probably a lot more systemic issues with this. I think maybe in schools they teach kids to use a V sound instead of a W. I'm not really sure what the problem is. This can lead to a lot of issues because you might hear someone who's just learning English say vai, instead of y. This is just one example. Okay, that's my 3 tips, my 3 biggest mistakes that I see my students make here in Turkey. I hope it really helps you to improve your English or to avoid these bad habits. Please click the like button if you liked this video, subscribe for more content in the future, and stop making the mistakes that you're making. See you next time.